Satini, Yuhan. It's good to see you all. Today is Thursday, April 24th. This month is just flying by. And we have today and then next Tuesday as our last class. So it's been an awesome semester with you all. Thank you for coming. Um, we have a fun class today. We're going to talk about birds and then berries. And so we'll have some vocabulary for you, some sentences, and discussion time. So go ahead and be thinking about your own connections to birds and berries, and feel free to share when we have our discussions as well. Before we get started, did anyone have questions or comments right off the bat before we jump into our lesson? Ready to just get to it? All right, I see some head nods. So for birds, we're going to look at sentences for 4 different types of birds, and let's practice their names before we get started. Duck is ga, and go ahead and unmute and repeat after me so we can work on our pronunciation together. Ga.
Ga.
Good. You sound good. You round your lips as you breathe out the X sound, and that gives you a nice rounded X. One more time. Ga.
Ga.
Good. Next one is mallard duck, kindachunate.
Indoctrinate.
Indoctrinate.
Mhm. Does that sound right to you, Shirley?
Oh,
Okay.
that's an easier one to say.
Yeah. Let's do it again. Kindachunate.
Indoctrinate.
Uh,
Indoctrinate.
Good job. Next one is goose. Tawak.
That differences between the two. Gach is
Gauch is duck, and kindachunate is mallard duck.
yeah.
Goose is tawak.
Awak.
Good. This last sound is an underlined K. Let's practice starting from the W. Wak.
Wak.
Good. And it starts with a pinched T. Let's practice the whole word. Tawak.
Awak.
Charlotte White, please report.
Good. So back from the top, duck. Gauch.
Ga.
Ga.
Kindachunate.
Indoctrinate.
Awak.
Awak.
The T is pinched, so you have to click on it real hard.
Awak.
Yeah.
And spruce hen. Kag.
Ka.
Good. It ends with a pinched X. So you snap your teeth on it. Let's do it again. Kag.
Ga.
Ka.
Good.
That's the word we now use for chicken.
All right. So duck. Gag.
Ga.
Ga.
Mallard duck. Kindachunate.
Indoctrinate.
Goose. Awak.
Awak.
And spruce hen. Kag.
Cog.
Yeah. And let's do a little drill for repetition. Repeat after me. Gah.
Gog.
Kinda chunate.
Indetunate.
Awak.
Awak.
Mhm. Kag.
Cog.
Gah.
Gog.
Kinda chunate.
Indetunate.
Awak.
Awak.
Kag.
Cog.
Good. Any questions on those? Thought you guys sounded good. So, this is a fun book. It's edited by Vesta Dominics, and it's called At Kutu Adi, or Animals. And they have sections on flying animals for birds, land animals, and they have 4 short, fun sentences for each type of bird in the bird section. And so I want to take you there. And let's practice this phrase. Let me make it a little larger.
I want to point out something.
Yeah.
Gah is the word we have for duck. But if you do the G in your throat, it becomes herring eggs.
Oh, yeah.
So, so make sure when you say the ducks, it's a regular G. Gah, gah.
Geez. I'm going to type them on the screen so we can see comparison. Okay, so gav, duck, underline G, gav, herring eggs. So let's practice the difference.
If you say that, if you say an L at the end,
Uh-huh.
it becomes clams.
Oh, yeah.
Rod. So there's so many similar ones. So you make sure you say it right.
Enough G's. Let me make sure I'm spelling clam. Oh, regular G. So let's practice these for comparison so we get it right for duck. So duck, repeat after me. Gah.
Gog.
Herring eggs is with an underline G. Gah.
Gog.
And then clams. Got.
God.
Good job. So yeah, taking a look at this book. I have to go to Adi. I'm gonna scroll to the top so I can show you the contributors. A lot of people contributed to this book. It was developed by the National Bilingual Materials Development Center in Rural Education at University of Alaska, Anchorage. Illustrated by Diane Crown, written by Esther Shea, the Tlingit bilingual instructor in Ketchikan, Alaska, and edited and proofread by Vesta Dominics in Sitka. So and Martha Shields from Ketchikan. It's a little bit about the book and who put it together for us. Let's take a look at some of the sentences. So this phrase means birds. It's the ones that fly around. Let's practice. At kaudliyichi at. And the first page is about the duck. And it says, I'll read it to you all and then we can practice each sentence. This one says, Gauchaya gauch hin ashuk yenatij. Dasa acha gat acha. And that one means this is a duck. The duck lives near the edge of the water. What does it eat? It eats clams. So let's practice the first line. Repeat after me. Gauchaya.
Gauchaya.
And then let's do a couple words at a time. Gauch hin chashug.
Gach, hin, ashuk,
Ye natich.
Yenatij.
natich,
Da sa'acha.
At this time,
dasa,
Dasa
acha,
acha.
Gat acha.
God
gak,
acha.
acha.
This one was news to me and Shirley. We never knew that ducks eat clams. Has anyone heard that before? Seeing some heads shaking no. It's not just us then.
Beaks are not, they're, the beaks are flat. So it's for filtering. I know they ate sardines or fingerlings or whatever they call it. The salmon as they spawn, they're little tiny babies that come out. They really scoop those up. They have big beaks for that. And that's where the fishy taste comes from when you cook mallard.
Mhm. Does anyone here eat duck or have you eaten duck before? No, me neither.
It is so good.
Mm.
We were joking. You can hunt at Safeway. They have ducks. And I bought one before and baked it. It was really super good.
Mm.
And they're expensive.
Like $20 or
It was a while ago, so it was expensive then. I can imagine probably the price of a turkey. I don't know.
mm-hmm.
one of my students has a question
Uh-huh.
about question marks.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to ask, Aren? Why is there no question marks in cleaning up?
Goodness, geez, thank you for your question. Shirley, do you want to talk about question marks? There's a sentence that says da sa'acha, but it's a question, but there's no question mark.
Yeah, we don't use punctuation. The punctuation that appears in our language is for a glottal stop and for the pinched letter or the underlined letter. The question mark usually appears at the beginning of the sentence with a tone mark. So it's like tasa atra. What does it eat? Tasa. So the question mark is right there with the sa. And it's usually a very short word, and it marks a sentence as a question.
So the
Understood.
intonation of the word indicates the question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's usually like the second or third word, and it tells you whether it's a question or not.
Punashtish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it could be dasa, or it could be well, I can't think of it of words now. Right now that can give us a clue. It could be ge, ge, uh, or any of those short lettered words like that. So that's our marker for a question.
mhm.
Yeah, when you read the writing of Nora Downhour and her husband, that's there's no punctuation. It's all like poetry.
Geez. And then to illustrate Shirley's explanation, I just put on the screen page 38 of the beginning Tlingit workbook. And this is a good resource for learning about forming Tlingit questions. But like she mentioned, the second part, the particle sa, translates to name it. That tells us that we're being asked a question. So if you hear the phrase da sa, you're being asked a what question. And then a few more examples. I won't overwhelm you guys with this chart, but when I was beginning to learn Tlingit, this was super helpful for me to see the way that questions are put together. And so, like Shirley said, the second or third sound you hear, this sa, to tell you that you're being asked a question. And these are all the different types of questions. The one we just did, da sa, lets you make a what question. Da sa, which one. Wa sa, how. Adu sa, who, and so forth. So I'm going to put the link to this resource in the chat for you guys if you want to explore this further in your classroom. This really helped me be able to understand elders and birth speakers when I was first starting out, because if they asked me a question at the grocery store, I would be really listening for, okay, I'm being asked a question and which type is it? So put this in the chat for you. So I just put a link in the chat to the resources page, and the beginning Tlingit workbook is this top link. Good question. Thank you for asking that. Any other comments or questions before we move on?
Did
Or
that
next?
did
Uh-huh.
that answer did that answer what they were asking?
Oh yeah. Did that answer your guys' question?
Yes, and he asked me to take pictures of these screens too, so I'm really happy he's interested.
Oh, good. Okay.
He speaks Bengali, so he's already, a multilingual speaker. So
Wow.
we've got several students that speak Mandarin and Gujarati and Bengali. I'm trying to think of what else. It's really a little United Nations.
Awesome.
Hmm?
That is so incredible. How good for their brains to be able to speak lots of languages.
I know. And one of our students is doing Navajo too, because she got interested in that from a novel that we're reading. I should share her presentation with you. It was really good. She read another book called The Navajo Code Talkers by Joseph Bruhawk, who I met a long time ago, but he writes children's books.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a class I would like to take as well because it's pretty similar to my grandmother's first language, Koyakan. Right. The next page is about tawak. Do you guys remember which animal is tawak?
Goose.
Good job, goose.
Is it
And
specifically a Canada goose? Or is it just a generic goose?
It's the Canadian goose that's in our area, southeast area.
geez.
That's the only one we have.
So this whole page, I'll read all the sentences to you and then we'll practice. Tawakaya, a cook has na teach. A cook has na teach. Dasa hasatcha, seit hasatcha, hasacha. So this one means, let me take you to our translation. This is a goose. Do they live on the lake? Yes, they live on the lake. What do they eat? They eat roots. So let's practice these. Repeat after me. Tawakaya.
Awakaya.
And we'll do a couple words at a time. Kuk.
Kuk.
Ge.
Ge.
Ye hasna teach.
Ye hasna teach.
Yeah, let's do it 3 words at a time this time. Kuk.
Kuk.
Ye hasna teach.
Ye hasna teach.
Good.
The
So this
question,
is
the question mark is on ge. On
gonna
that.
teach. So like Shirley mentioned, instead of putting a question mark at the end, we look for the word that makes it a question, and it's this one, ge. Ge marks a yes or no question. So they're asking, does it live on the lake? And that's this ge. And then the answer is yes, they live on the lake. And let's do 3 words at a time. Kuk.
Kuk.
Ye hasna teach.
Ye hasna teach.
Good. The whole phrase. Kuk ye hasna teach.
Kuk. Kuk ye hasna teach.
Good job. Next one. What do they eat? Dasa hasadcha.
Dasa hasadcha.
Good. That means what do they eat? And then they eat roots. Tseit hasacha.
Seit hasacha.
Uh, Any goose hunters out there? Anybody has eaten goose?
They cause a lot of trouble at the airports uh, because that's where the runways are built right over where they usually nest. So they just hold on to it by being there and raising their chicks in that area, so they can be scared by a plane taking off or landing. So Anchorage was trying to deal with it And they said, we don't know what to do because there was uh, so many of them nesting out there by the airport, and they fly around. So I said, let the natives have a day when we can go out and collect the eggs, because that's how we kept the population down, and to collect the eggs. And what did they do? They got a pig. So they let the pigs go to collect the eggs. And they didn't do their job. They had other things to do. So you know, the the answer was right there for us, because we have a big population here. And if they could have a day or an hour or sometime when the natives can go out and collect the eggs, uh, that would really reduce the number of birds that fly. But as far as I know, they haven't done that ever.
Goose eggs sound good.
One egg is so large, if you make an omelet, it could feed 3 people.
Wow.
Yeah. But it tastes exactly like eggs. That's what the kids didn't understand. If it wasn't from the chicken, is it really an egg? So
Huh.
yeah, it's exactly like an egg.
Yum. I'd love to have a goose egg omelet.
It's like goat's milk.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but it tastes exactly the same.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, goat's milk.
Goat's milk. People are suspicious. Goat milk? When you taste it, it tastes exactly like milk.
Mm.
And it's better for you because it doesn't have all that antibiotics and whatever people are allergic to.
Mm. Next one is spruce hen, also the word for chicken. You guys remember how it's called in Lingit? Pop quizzing you.
Hog.
Ah, good. Good memory. Here's our sentences about spruce hen, and the English translation is, this is a spruce grouse. Do they live in the trees? Yes, they live in the trees. What do they eat? They eat roots
And seeds,
and seeds. Yeah.
I know that for sure.
Yeah, Shirley and I were talking about spruce hens on Tuesday. So all the sentences together, I'll read them. Kagaya asik yehas natich. Asik yehas natich. Dasa hasatcha chad hasacha. They used a different word for roots here from when they said geese eat roots.
Are these
See,
spruce roots?
let's look it up. I'm actually curious.
I think that hot is spruce roots.
Oh, cool. Okay. Are you a weaver?
I've done a little bit of spruce root weaving. Like I had a
Oh,
tiny little basket one time.
wow.
That's more than I've done.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. My great grandma was a spruce root weaver. I didn't learn from her, but I really think it's beautiful.
You've seen them working though, have you? You've seen
Uh,
your grandmother working on.
no, I haven't. No, she passed away before I was born. Great grandma.
I used to see the ladies sitting as they weave and dipping their fingers in the water as they go. I always thought
Yeah.
that's really something.
Mm-hmm.
And I would see them sitting, using their teeth to
Mm-hmm.
split the roots.
It's really cool.
Yeah. I never did try it. My brother used to brag about how he could weave back then, but I never.
Okay.
I wish I did it now.
I know Nawea in Juneau, Austin Tagaban, is
Mm-hmm.
a spruce root weaver. I love his work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. Chat is spruce root. So these sentences say, oh, I already read this one. So let's practice this. This is a spruce grouse. Kagaya
Hog. Aya.
asyike
Os. Yik.
yehasnatich.
Yehasnatich.
Good. And here's our question word again that makes it a yes or no question. This ge. And that's are they in the trees? And then the response, yes, they're in the trees. As yehasnatich.
Os. Yehasnatich.
Good. Da sahasatcha.
Da sahasatcha.
Chat hasacha.
Chat hasacha.
Good. Anybody ever go look for spruce grouse in your areas? I usually growing up used to go with my dad in the fall time, and he told me go early in the morning because you'll find them right on the trail because they're still eating gravel and things that help them digest their food. And sure enough, sometimes I would almost step on one. They let you get real close before they fly away. And then when they do, it sounds like an explosion because they flap their wings real loud and it'll startle you.
We
Boy,
used to
those.
take them through the woods. There's a time when they can't fly and or don't fly. Uh, and as kids, our job was to chase them so they could chase them right into my dad's to catch them. So that's how I got. We didn't get very many. Like I don't put it up for a winter supply, but it sure is a wonderful treat to have.
Yeah, they're
So
sure good to eat.
they eat roots. That sounds very much like uh, clams.
Hmm.
So can we tell the difference?
Yeah. So let's do a comparison. Make it nice and large so everyone can see it. Okay, so we have chat is spruce root. And ga is clams.
Mila toga. What would be fish then? I thought fish, isn't
Yeah,
fish
that's
hot
what
as
I
well?
thought. That's what I
High
thought.
tone.
Yeah.
Good question. Yeah, and good answer too, Ani. So fish sounds really similar, but it's a high tone double A. And let's practice all three of these. So the first one, spruce root, chat.
Chat.
The next one, fish, is high tone, chat.
Chat.
and then clams. God.
God.
We sound right, Shirley?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's all in the tone mark, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, spruce root is low tone, fish is high tone.
That's really unusual because of our attitude towards animals, that it would have a high tone.
Oh.
So I'm learning to,
Oh. And the attitude toward animals usually would make them low tone?
yeah, no tones.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Cha,
Oh,
cha, yeah,
low tone, yeah.
hoot, hoot. Everything is low tone.
Hmm.
Yai.
Interesting. Okay, our last bird from this book is the mallard duck. And the English translation of this page says, "This is a mallard. Does it live in the river? Yes, it lives in the river. What does it eat? It eats roots and clams." So let's take a look at the page here. All the sentences together sound like Kinda chune daya hin yik ye na teach. Ah, hin yik ye na teach. Da sa tra tsait kakat cha. And let's practice these. The first line, repeat after me. Kinda chune daya.
Indetunate aya.
And we'll do a couple words at a time. Hin yik ge
Hin yik ke.
ye na teach.
Ye na teach.
Ah, hin yik
Ah. Hin yik.
ye na teach.
Ye na teach.
Da sa tra
Da sa atcha.
tsait kakat cha.
Tsait kakat acha.
Job. How do we sound, Shirley?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So that's a fun book. Like I mentioned, there's other sections on different types of animals, but this is just a really fun resource for learning how to talk about them.
I used to collect uh, mallard duck eggs. They
Oh,
they nest in the grassy area by the river,
oh wow.
and they don't sit on their nest. They lay the eggs and pull their down feathers and pile it up on top of the eggs. So you see the nest with all the down feathers. That means there's eggs in there. So we used to pull that apart and get the eggs. Um, and the eggs are the same size as chicken eggs, and
Oh,
but they're colorful. Uh, they're not always the same color. Some are, depending on what the bird eats, I guess. I don't really know. It could be a light blue, light green, pale yellow,
Good.
uh, those kind tan color.
mm,
Oh, it's like Easter eggs.
fun.
Yeah, kind of fun.
Mm,
That's the eggs I was used to.
yum.
if you're wondering the difference, it's close to a fishy taste because of what the duck eats.
Mm.
So when I was introduced to chicken eggs, I couldn't eat it.
Mm.
Couldn't stand the taste, the
Mm.
flavor.
Mm.
I just recently began to get used to eating chicken eggs.
Oh, anybody else collect mallard duck eggs or have any stories
Or goose eggs.
or goose eggs?
No goose eggs, but I know there's one story of when I was a child, my great uncle brought seagull eggs to my mom as a gift, and she was very happy to receive it and put it in a pot of water right away and boiled it up. And then when she cracked it open, there was like little babies in there, like it was formed.
Uh,
So yeah, so she didn't eat it, but it just turned my stomach and I couldn't eat
Yeah,
regular eggs for years after that.
kids on the time of the year, you have to make sure you go before the babies are formed.
Yes,
Yeah,
very important.
and that's really important.
Mm.
Uh,
Thanks for sharing.
yeah, you can boil up those eggs and pickle them,
Mm.
but they don't last. They don't last at all. So whichever way you do it.
Jeez. All right. We still have 15 minutes left and we have some slides about berries. Shirley, do you think we should go into those?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're all getting excited for berry picking season as the sun comes out and we have longer days. And these next pages I'm going to show you, the pictures are taken from the Traditional Foods Harvesting book that's published by Search. And they organize it by season. So these are some summer harvest, blueberries, cloudberry, elderberry. But we have a page for each one. So let's take a look. Um, the first one is watermelon berry. And let's practice this one. Pleoc kahinti.
The same schedule everywhere. We can't
Te
have
kahinti.
a schedule in another place for the same provider.
Pleoc kahinti. There should be an underline K here. But for harvesting, watermelon berries were not traditionally used by Tlingit people, but are used today. Watermelon berries grow in shady, moist areas and can be picked in summer when they're red. Plants are generally 1 to 3 feet high. Gather the stems and leaves in early spring. The tender young stems can be eaten fresh off the trail or added to salads. Berries contain a lot of water, and some people say they taste similar to a cucumber. Wash the berries and store them covered up for up to 2 to 3 days in the refrigerator. Berries can be used for jellies and syrups or dried and added to baked goods. And for medicinal effects, berries can have a laxative effect, explaining the nickname scootberry. There's a warning at the bottom that the deadly false hellebore plant frequently grows close by with similar looking shoots. And there's a poisonous plant section in the book. But Shirley mentioned what her mom used to say to her about these berries. Did you want to share that, Shirley?
Yeah.
That
Yeah, you see
shows
those
in
berries. My brother,
this.
my younger brother,
This
wow,
yearly
they
schedule
look
he
so
has
good.
for that day.
And he
Like if
ran
we
and
tried to
grabbed
put
some,
in for
and
fire weed here,
she stopped him.
you can't do that
And
because
she
it's got
said,
22
absolutely
schedule.
do not touch those berries. And no explanation. And that's all, of course, we asked we didn't ask,
Uh-huh.
but when you see it, don't touch it and don't use it. So, so for that reason, I'm kind of surprised when
Well, how is this?
it's
Is this gonna
offered
be
as
like a weekly thing?
Southeast
At
food
least gonna be,
because we never used it.
how often?
Mm.
We collected
Yeah, is it
everything.
gonna change?
Mm. Yeah, probably a safe bet to stay away from them so you don't accidentally pick the poisonous one.
It could be.
Yeah. Next one is blueberry. Repeat after me. Kanata.
Arnett.
Yep, good.
Yum.
Yeah. From the book, it says blueberries are harvested from mid-July to late August on hillsides where rain and sun are prevalent. Lay a clean towel over a cutting board with one end propped up. Gently roll the berries down so debris clings to the towel. Wild blueberries may contain worms, and those berries usually have wrinkles or deformities. To treat infested berries, soak for 1 hour in a gallon of warm water with a half a teaspoon of salt, then drain and rinse. Enjoy berries fresh or use for cobblers, pancakes, muffins, jams, jellies, and pies. Flowers from the plant may also be eaten fresh. Keep in a sealed container in the refrigerator for up to 1 week. To freeze, spread a layer of berries onto cookie sheets, then transfer into a freezer bag or other container, label, and date. Frozen berries will last up to 2 years. Berries may also be dried. Any blueberry pickers among us? Got some
The
hands up.
berries, if they're infested, it's because you picked them where there's a lot of
Yeah, it's
trees.
just a big open.
Oh,
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about it if you make sure you
Okay.
get your huckleberries in an
guess
open
I think I can work on this.
open area where there's
Wondering
not
if
even alderwood.
take
Alderwood
this-
kind of
this
takes over
9,
too much shade
QCH
that
next,
really
all of that
asks
is
for
from 9 to 12,
the berries to be infested.
8 to
So
9.
you have to
Or you
keep
want to
that in
divide it
mind.
up into 1 hour each.
mm.
When I was little, we would go berry picking, elderberry and grape picking, and we would make jelly. And I don't know how we came up with this, but we used to say bluckleberry, and I think it's because we didn't know what they were, which is kind of dangerous. Or else we were just my parents were being funny, but yeah, I got bluckleberry in my head.
That's funny.
The desk time, what
The,
we could do is
the
just
huckleberries,
I can put a slot there, but
you
it's blank.
you go out in the field
And
and you
desk
look.
time, you'll have to put in a block
see,
yourself,
There's hardly any berries
which is probably can be
because
I'm sure your
the
schedule
berries do
that.
well if they're
'Cause there
shaded
is a
with the
block
branches
designed for
with
desk
the
time.
huckleberry
They already put
leaves.
that in, don't they?
So sometimes when you lift up the branch, there's all these berries under there. Yeah, I did. I remember one time I was walking on a log and I slipped and slid into an area. And when I straightened up, I looked, there was all these great giant huckleberries right above me.
Yeah.
So I just sat there and I collected the berries.
Yum.
The question would be is
Me too. When I look for berries, I sit down. I'll crouch over and see if there's some and then sit down and look up.
Yeah. Lift up the branches and all the berries are under the leaves.
Nice big ones too sometimes.
Yeah, my mom used to say, too many trees, too many worms.
Mm,
Yeah. So we always avoided that.
wow.
Even to make jam, we never picked berries that might be infested.
Good to know. Goodness, geez. Right, we got a couple minutes left, so we'll do one more and then maybe do our last couple at the next class if we have time. But this one is cloudberry, which in Caltech, where my family's from, we in English call it salmonberry because they get ripe when it's time to pick salmon. But I know in Southeast, a salmonberry is a different berry from this one, and it's referred to as the cloudberry. But its Tlingit name is, repeat after me, ne.
Page,
Ne. Good. It's a pinched X with a W after it. So round your lips and say ne.
Which one?
Good. For harvesting information, in northern Alaska, cloudberries are called salmon berries. Berries can be picked in late summer to early fall. Leaves are gathered before flowers bloom. Berries can be eaten fresh, mixed with other berries, or used to make jams and jellies. Berries and leaves can be used to make a nice flavored tea. Traditionally, cloudberries were preserved in seal oil. They will keep in a sealed container in a refrigerator for up to 1 week. To freeze, spread a layer of berries onto cookie sheets, then transfer into a freezer bag or other container, label, and date. Frozen berries will last up to 2 years, and the leaves can be dried.
Office visit or something?
Any cloudberry pickers here?
Yeah.
Are they on the ground or are they on the bush?
Yeah, they're a tundra berry, and each stem, at least in Caltech, will have one berry at the end of it. They grow in the tundra close to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. My aunties also ferment them, and uh they know how to do it. They put it in like a big plastic pretzel container with sugar and then cover it with just a paper towel with a rubber band instead of the lid so that some air can come out.
The other
And they'll
option,
leave it on the counter for a few days and turn it upside down every once in a while until they're fermented. And then we put them in fish ice cream, which in our language we call nastada. But boy, they're just good. I just enjoy picking with my aunties and cleaning the stems off them, and
might because
really good berries. All right. Well, that's all the time we have. Shirley, did you want to close with anything?
Yeah, there was a lot of information that was available in the books. So we want to continue to go over some of the berries that were identified as poisonous that the crickets still eat. But the amount of the variation of berries that we have is really tremendous. And uh, there was one berry that wasn't even known to the Americans and still holds the native name for it. They say it in English. So there's a lot of fun information. So if you are a berry picker or you have
well, I could just leave it
experience
as
cooking them,
QCH office visit. Because
well,
that
I'll do a little
appointment
bit more on that
That block
on
is
Tuesday.
associated to the QCH office visit already. So if I put that in there, then they'd be able to put the block in.
All right, thanks you guys. Thanks for coming to class today, and we'll see you for our last class this coming Tuesday, April 29th. Good night,
Goodness, cheese.
Yes, geez.